Last night I didn't get to sleep at all. No, no. Oh, and I am bushed. I'm tired. Whereas uh, a host of things just I'm feeling kind of all over more or less. But anyway, though, social media family, been of any subscribers as well as visitors to, oh, excuse me, to that being my own social media channel and or likewise chat room conversation. I'm going to try to, you know, speed dial this here and knock it out flat so that I could, you know, finally try to get some or such beauty rest for the Frankenstein looking monster here. So far as my rows of teeth are concerned, as I have had more than quite a few of some of such removed, upon short notice, you know, as I have yet to get implants in due time, affordable ones once I were to find a dentist office to transact that necessary business at hand. Not that this is meant to be the content of this particular present social media broadcast or video or whatever one wants to call it. Anyway, though, or regardless, and as I think of it with that in my mind's intention is to try to backtrack here with no purpose of being was so that I can go on to following to continue from where and when that my person at last left off so I can finish up as a complete a form of previous fire lines out in the same word. So far as concerning the basic intro as an introduction is concerned, before I were to get to speaking upon, a subject matter, topic of discussion to be debated, or that being a which is for a given argument with many different views and opinions to be possibly affiliated or associated with and representing thereof, you know, and as this particular present one would be regarded making reference to that being a which would complement, the title to this present social media broadcast or video as well as the footnotes for another direction of it is concerned, you know, and, regardless of how many subject matters, you know, I could speak upon, or how many of topics of discussion should be debated or given arguments with many different views and opinions to be affiliated, associated with, and representing thereof, whereas it would all depend upon how I am feeling as a president at one time. But nevertheless, I will first and foremost, if anything, even if this is the only one I will to speak upon, so far as concerning that being a which is, you know, complementing the title to this present one, as well as the footnotes. But only first of all, after I were to, finish up with the basic intro as an introduction before I were to do just that. It's how you all doing? Well, hopefully everyone is doing at least okay, if not better yet to be said. All right. Oh, but my silence about me at that, and I don't want to seem so much like I'm, you know, becoming subjected to experiencing some kind sort of type of compulsive disorder. You know, and sometimes it be like that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, though, yes, I hope that everyone is doing at least okay. If not better yet to be said to be feeling all right, or if not best of all to be said to be feeling blessed and stressed. More blessed and stressed. Too blessed to possibly become or be stressed. You and yours, family and friends, and hopefully me and mine likewise, well, all the same. Well, so I say, regardless whether or not that of my person could possibly be once again for the umpteenth time butchering the English language of the American dialect. But then I never had claimed to have become or be an English major, neither nor an English professor. Other than that, I do apologize if that may be the case in situations so far as some such others concerned, being a vice versa that I mentioned before that last, the latter compared to the former. That's anyway, though. Nevertheless, let me go ahead and get this out here and deliver a message, regardless. Although it's way past my bedtime, it's like practically, if not possibly, coming up on the break of dawn another hour, whereas it's 4 something now, or going on for, rather, what I meant to say, correction. And whereas my bedtime hour is supposed to be 11 p.m., regardless of any proverbial neighbors from damn hell, among the dime a dozen probably nuisance the problem neighbors, attempting to once again throw a monkey wrench in that program as well as any others to be associated with and representing that, my person as a believer in God, to attempt to do great damage or sabotage my general physical and mental health for that matter. God forbid. Oh my God. Yeah, I usually go to bed at 11 p.m. And here it is now, going on 4. So that's like a couple few hours from my bedtime. So you all had better appreciate this present social media broadcast or video or whatever you want to make of it. And with that having been said, then just go ahead and dive into it. Disregard any interruptions that could occur or happen during the course of my person broadcasting, via electronic medium of communication, whatever I said. You know. Then stupid does and stupid feels when it comes to certain others, if you know what I mean, likes this kind. Yeah. Anyway, though, let's disregard, as I was saying, any interruptions, not so far as concerning any electronic devices of electronic frequency transmissions are the same. The broadcast, be it that coming from a device of a television or a radio. But rather, I was making reference to any likes of the proverbial neighbors from hell, or probably this is the problem neighbors. Discard, or whatever. Anyway, though, moving right along now that I got the preliminaries pretty much so out the way. As you all notice, the title to this present social media broadcast video, whereas, our president elect being as he is, I mean, I don't know what's that dude's problem, but he's not taking care of business as much as he could. You hear what I'm saying? Not really. As the commander in chief of our own U.S. military forces of troops, and whereas I get to wondering whether or not he himself is hitting the bottle or the pipe, because he's been doing, you know, quite a few things that doesn't or don't appeal to the American general public or people at large. Like, say, for example, one thing, pulling our U.S. or military troops out of the third world country of Afghanistan. Yeah, that Afghanistan where they have, like more than quite a few, or number upon number, you know, that being farm ground, farm grounds to manufacture something that would prove to become a be worse than no the wacko weed, reefer, peyote, marijuana, and that's the poppy seed that produces the much more harder illegal drug substances. You know, and we're getting back to something such. Yes, whereas this fool pulled our U.S. American military troops out of Afghanistan, you know, it made us not only lose face in the face of the enemy, but it caused us to become subject to experiencing another failed Vietnam within that third world country of Afghanistan. Whereas prior to then, whereas the Russians were there before us Americans, and here it is now, once again, the Russian Bolsheviks have decided that they wanted to, invade, no, not Poland, because if they were to invade Poland, then the USA would have to get into the fray, being it because, it is one of our allies. But I was making reference to the Ukraine, yeah, whereas all hell is broke loose. I can remember what I was saying more or less last before I lose my train of thought. I guess not important. God would bring back to mind. Regardless, I mean, if it was important, if it weren't, I mean, if it was important, that's what I mean to say. And if it weren't, you know, who cares? I mean, because if it weren't not to be brought back, right? Because God works in mysterious ways, and all things are supposed to work for the good guy. But anyway, though, getting back to some such other. And here we have the Ukraine, and just another challenge to our own democratic republic, you know. But with the way that Russia is making all these bogus military moves, I would think that the USA needs a much more qualified president in the White House. When I say more qualified, I mean more, you know, ferocious to put put more than more than enough of a scare into the Russian president to let him know that we're not playing either. Okay, because the Russian president putting out threats about how no country or nation better not intervene while they invade the Ukraine. Put military troops on the ground in that country or nation, but then from what I'm hearing, it's not likely that the USA will send any military troops there, being that because the Ukraine did not become a member of NATO, of our allies. So they're pretty much so on their own, literally actually on their own, fighting a superpower to rival that of our own, and to think that they have invaded the Ukraine and for that, if someone says to give them on time, like they're testing how much we will permit them to come off, the Russian Bolsheviks to come off as cowardly bullies and terrorist wannabes to be compared onto Hitler and his goons of old for World War II in the past. I mean, who knows how much further it could go from there? I mean, after all, at one time or another, whereas Adolf Hitler himself, you know, had invaded Poland, you know, before it had before it had become one of the breakaway provinces from the Soviet Union or U.S.S.R. itself, and before it was liberated by the Allies, you know. So here it is that President Vladimir Putin, has invaded, you know, the Ukraine, and like as if he's saying he don't care one way or another, And just as the country or nation of Russia has allies, but then so does our own country or nation. Depending on how we deal with the aggressiveness of Russia is going to set the game plan for the future. I mean, if you let a cowardly bully go willy nilly, conquering countries or nations before you know it, we just really that much more have the likes of, the late dictator Adolf Hitler, you know, in the person of the president of Russia being President Vladimir Putin, whereas we should have nipped that in the bud to begin with, you know, when he had first ordered Soviet Russian military troops to start to move toward the border of the breakaway province of Ukraine. You know? But no, our present commander in chief wanted to drag his, like a wussy or wimpy little, like a wuss or wimp, of a nature, and as well as even before then, he pulled our U.S. American military troops out of that third world country nation of Afghanistan. You know, so we don't need this president to remain in the White House. You know, he's making us lose faith and putting our country or nation in jeopardy. You know, whereas our own democratic political democracy is being threatened. Our own superpower by that other superpower. You know, though there's other superpowers in addition to that of the USA and the U.S.S.R., but we are supposed to be some such the main superpowers. And Sleepy Joe is not, you know, coming at these here Bolshevik Russians, these socialists or fascist socialist Bolshevik Russians from an advantage point of strength, but rather is putting us at a disadvantage as he's coming at them. That is him and those from a vantage, from a different vantage, that from a disadvantage point of weakness is what I meant to say. You know, so he's got to go. He's got to go. You all trust me. President-elect or president of USA, he has got to go. I mean, his approval ratings has dropped dramatically. So, to compliment what I'm saying, he's got to go. Unless he wants to, sign up former ex twice impeached, but yet twice acquitted President Donald Trump to his political cabinet, have him hold a significant post, you know, if not get out altogether. Because his government administration is like more or less like one big joke, you know. If he's making us lose face, you know, in front of the global community of the international consensus of citizens and foreigners, individual person and collective bodies of people representing human civilization, our own species. And he got to go though. Seriously though, this one president in the White House, President elect, he's got to go. You know, and because the president of Russia is not taking him seriously. You know, okay, because he looks like he's pussyfooting about dealing with that, about having subordinates for our own superpowers. That's it. For our own super powers that's of our own military, American U.S. military troops, of our own superpower to send a message to that of theirs, the Russian Bolsheviks, you know. And we can't have that, all that pussyfooting, you know. I myself had to say in social media, tax or put a suspension on President President Vladimir Putin's monetary finance as well as upon the Russian economy. You know, he dragged his button and finally decided to do it. You know, and I said, "Wow, sure took long enough." You know, and as well, it took long enough for him to decide as to what to do with Russia. You know, in the event, but all that sanctioning of Russia really didn't do squat. You know, just a drop in the bucket. Whereas the Russian economy still proven to be pretty strong. The Russian president, you know, whereas no telling how much money he has secretly hidden, like North Korean dictator Kim Jong Un has amounts of wealth or riches or bank, you know. And when we had gone about putting sanctions upon that commie or socialist country nation in itself, it was still, you know, floating, you know, above the specter, you know. So how much more you would think Russia, you know, whereas the economic sanctions is not affecting it much, you know. You're not supposed to bring a knife to a gunfight, and so it could be like said in Dewgar in reference to that of a threat of nuclear hardball. Now, sanctions is one thing, but you know, military preparedness is another. Get what I'm saying? You all. And we don't need a weak president in the White House right now. We need a strong president in the White House, just like, you know, the late JFK, the late President John F. Kennedy had called President Nikita Khrushchev's bluff back then. And I hope I pretty much so have said all that I want to say at this, or pretty much I've given you all at least a general idea. It's rather late hour. Understand what I'm saying? Because my words are not coming out as it could be and as it is for some such time. Because I missed my bedtime hour 11. It's now no after 4, a couple few hours. But anyway, I'm about to wrap this up, and I hope that you all have gotten something out of what was said. You know, especially the part in Deuteronomy reference to so far as the conclusion of the matter, so, such as is, as I'm about to speak upon Christ's salvation. I paraphrase the quote exactly, and that is, if you haven't gotten Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, I would hope that you would think to do so now while the blood is still running warm in your vein, by recognizing and realizing what he himself had done or did upon the cross Calvary on the hill of Golgotha, suffering at the hands of some Roman soldiers upon the orders of their religious superiors of Pharisees and Sadducees, and then some. You know, being that in addition, you know, centurion Caesars, etc. But then nevertheless, where he himself that went to that cross of Calvary, become the perfect sacrifice, the only sacrifice for you as well as for me. So that if any of us, being of whatsoever races, and likewise of whatever walks of life, faction, or society, lifestyle preferences, being the old, young, like both two sexual genders, male and female, represent not only the human species, but then nevertheless the global community within this post 911 era of a new millennium apocalyptic day and age, where the doomsday clock is now at a couple few minutes of midnight compared on our phone periods prior to then. It was at a quarter midnight for these rather biblically prophetic times. Were to confess some such faith in them, and that we become or be blessed one regard another in more ways than one. First and foremost, with his out let me see, it is rather late out. Put up two things. First and foremost, with his salvation, being which is the only means by which any of us can or could possibly become citizens of the kingdom of heaven. And because if you don't have his blood sacrifice, you got nothing. That blood sacrifice blessings as a result of the developments of him being crucified. Blood sacrifice. There's blessings being of which are the results of the developments of his blood sacrifice. Is first you have got to get his salvation. Then second of all, you have got to get his deliverance. You know, but then you cannot be blessed with anything if you don't have much more important blessing being of his salvation, most important. Otherwise, you got nothing coming. You know, whereas the the main blessing would be to first and foremost get his salvation. Then from there, second of all, his deliverance. But if you don't have the first blessing against fire insurance, I mean against death, the first blessing of fire insurance policy for the lake of fire damn hell is what I mean to say. Prince we continue regularly, my mind compared our Prince documents to confusing. As I think of it with that in my mind's intention to try backtrack here with reason purpose being, in order so I can go on to follow and to continue from where and when that my person at last left off so I can finish up as incomplete upon previous prior line thought. And in the same sense, that you have that fire insurance for the lake of fire down hell for the great beyond. Once you were to cross on over, make that transition for the hereafter, the afterlife, then your final destination will be the lake of fire, a damn hell, in order to be assembled with the rest of the unsaved, lost, damn human souls of unbelievers and unbelievers, be tortured and terrorized by the devil and demons forever, compared us to how we as believers in God will be across that great divide that separates heaven from hell in the company of like-minded believers, the Christians, A.K.A. Protestants, and in the presence of God and his angels. Otherwise, but first we have got to get Christ's salvation while you still have time, while you're still here. Otherwise, you know, you'll find out, you know, sooner than you think how tomorrow's not promised to anyone. And, you know, go to sleep and wake up with your eyes looking at the fiery flames of the lake of fire, damn hell, and become subject to experiencing the devil and his demons, you know, gnawing and clawing upon you and dishing out all kinds of torture for your person or against you, like so. You all take care and be safe. Be blessed, not stressed if you're not already blessed. Hope you become be blessed in due time. Catch you later. Oh, excuse me. So until then, until we meet again, then it's pretty much so, I guess, a wrap. Tune in next time to become a participant of a live broadcast if you have not already, you know, because this one is a done deal. So you all take care and be safe. And next time you come, hopefully you press the subscribe button if you have not already. Hopefully in due time. You all take care and be safe. Peace.